Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a quick look at Shiba Inu. And just before we do, always look at Bitcoin first, but I think we're going to skip that because 61,000 is the answer, right? So if you're just going to want to know what Bitcoin's doing, it's just stuck at 61. Yeah, not a big fan. We'll see. Hopefully this weekend, though, I do think we're going to be able to see somewhat of an increase based on the fact that the whales are kind of taking the weekend off, and we should see less manipulation in that sense. Because there's been a couple of times this week where the price dipped down and immediately bounced right back up with some failed sell-offs. Either way, you're new to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me here. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor. This is for educational purposes only, but I do need you to know that I actually have been trading for a very long time and I'm a proficient trader. My goal is to help you become a much better trader, right? I love teaching, love helping other people become better. So ultimately, that's why I create a trading community. So be sure to check that out in the description below, where I send out signals for every single trade that I take, and you can just one-click follow if you'd like. Really cool experience. Again, reference that in your own time. Now, take a look here at Shiba Inu. Let's just go ahead and get kind of a quick baseline. First of all, price was retracing down. The previous support was here right around 52.84, about 5,300, but we lost that support and the price came all the way down as low as about 42.75. That was a previous resistance level, so it makes sense that it bounced. And since then, it's done very, very well. So I think it's up almost 20-30%. Well, it says 40 here, but I think we're about 25 to 30% up right now. And we did pass through this most recent support level, but also now a resistance, right? Obviously the price rejected out there. But keep that in mind, this is basically the exact halfway point, and it's pretty standard for the price to kind of get rejected there at 0.5 on Fibonacci, which is effectively 65.85. So that's basically a resistance level right now for Shiba Inu. But good news is the price broke through 60.50, and that's a good case in point where that should work as a support level moving forward. And a little early to tell. It's only been a couple of hours since it's been that range, but generally speaking, we're looking at pretty good shape here. Let's look at some obvious normal indicators just so we can kind of get a baseline of what's going on. RSI bounced off of 50. That's fantastic. Basically, just means that we should not see the price go any lower than 4,300. Okay, so 4,300 should be the lowest point. Excuse me. Now, looking at the moving averages, I think we're way off on that. Yep, we don't have to worry about that for a little while. On the 4-hour, though, however, we do have the 50-day 7 moving average working as resistance. So keep that in mind. That could be pushing the price down. That may also, end up bringing the price down a little further, or just keeping it kind of in this little zone with the potential of breaking out eventually. Okay. So there's definitely that. The 50 is holding the price action down so far. We're only 4 hours into that scenario, so it's hard to say just yet, but it does look like the price rejected at that 50 as well, which is a pretty common characteristic of the 50-day simple moving average. In most cases, both sides of the equation, it can work as a support as well. Good news is, though, the 200 is working its way up here to go ahead and meet this lowest point here. So I would say within the next week or less, the price, the 50-day simple moving average and the 200 will kind of be somewhere averaging out right in the range of about 5,200. So that's a very good sign. In other words, we should see somewhere in this range here as a stronger support level moving forward. Furthermore, let's go ahead and take a look at the 1-hour chart. We're going to just quickly peek at the Ichimoku cloud. Fantastic. We're back up above the Ichimoku cloud, which is a great sign. Now, that's not always just, the instant immediate sign to take position, but generally speaking, we have a lot of bullish momentum. We're no longer making lower lows and lower highs, right? We're pretty much making just strictly higher highs. The higher lows haven't essentially occurred yet. This isn't even a low, so we'll find out soon how the higher lows are accumulating, for lack of better terms, but that doesn't really matter at this point, right? The key takeaway here is that the price is holding above support. The Ichimoku cloud can also work as a support level too, but we're above that at this point. So basically just means that we should continue to see a continuation, I would say, throughout the weekend. I've noticed too as well, Shiba Inu has a tendency of doing a lot on the weekends as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some kind of forward momentum to come up to test its previous resistance level. At least its all-time high. I think that's very likely in the next week. Perhaps even this weekend, depending on this momentum continues, because, right, that's really only another 20 or 30%. So another 33% higher, which is very much a small task for Shiba Inu, right? We're already up 40% on the day. I think it's going to be looking pretty good here. One last thing, let's take a quick look at TD sequential. We're at about an 8 right now. So keep this in mind. We may not see a large continuation to the upside here in the immediate future, but in the fairly near future, I think within the next 24 hours, we'll probably see a leg up. What would be ideal is for the price to consolidate in this zone here, this little range, and then to effectively break out to the upside eventually once it's ready. But we want it to kind of calm down a little bit. because yeah, even though it's a good momentous bullish trend right now, we don't want it to fizzle out, right? We want it to continue and to stay healthy. Okay. That being said, we're looking pretty good all in all. So why don't we just go ahead and take a quick look at the future forecast, see if we can kind of understand a little bit more so based on the current metrics, where we're going to possibly be here in the very near future. Okay. Right now, when I say near future, first of all, we want to take a look at this time frame, right? So roughly since the price crossed over here, it's the 26th, right? So the 26th, that's approximately what, 8 to 10 days ago, right in that range. So let's just say it was a week and a half ago. So it's taken a week and a half to effectively have this much price action, okay? So if we take that and just kind of multiply it by 2, that'll put us in this range here, I would say roughly by the 14th, okay? So we should hypothetically be upwards about 13,400 by the 14th if we can continue the same type of continuation, right? Continuing a continuation, that sounds fun. Let's hope that happens. But generally speaking, again, we get a little consolidation here, keeps legging up to the next Fibonacci retracement lines, and it keeps progressing upwards. What I'll do right now here as well is go ahead and draw out some of the major resistance levels, the key resistance zones for Fibonacci, just so we know that if the price were to break up there, we know exactly what that's going to do for us. Because these are kind of the more common resistance levels I've noticed. So 1.272 is a very common one. So is 1.618, and of course 2.0. That's pretty much the 2x effectively, not the price, but the actual duration or the length essentially. That being said, yeah, we're going to be looking at a scenario like this here, where you take a look, you can see we got a resistance right around 10,000, right at about 11,600, and of course 13,400. So I think 13,400 is a realistic probability within the next week, as long as we get a healthy momentum upwards, sideways consolidation followed by the next leg up, right? Because we always want to have a good healthy staircase pattern, right? If we can look something like this, we'd be in really good shape, right? We'll see a breakout to the upside that way if we see some type of continuation. The thing we don't want to see is this right here, right? Because that'll happen again if the price goes up too fast. So I know you want to take it to the moon, and I'm sure every other YouTuber is probably telling you that, but that's not really the way that good trading goes. So just be in mind, if it does happen, take your damn profits, because it's not going to go tremendously higher. It cannot go higher than 13,400. That's just a very, very low likelihood based on the fact that Fibonacci has a way of keeping the price action within a specific range. Okay, so just note that. So hopefully that helps you. And if you find benefit, great. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. But again, we're looking for continuation right here at support for a breakout to the upside within the next 24 hours. If it continues to progress upwards, just be mindful this resistance at about 88.60 is going to be very strong resistance if it doesn't have enough time to consolidate and kind of rest and relax before it gets there. Okay. So I'll go ahead and continue to cover this frequently just to make sure that we stay abreast on everything. But I do thank you so much again for joining me here. Feel free to reference my Patreon community, show your support, but also I would support you too in the sense that I share all my signals with you, as well as the fact that we're just all learning and growing together. It's an amazing, amazing experience. So check that out in your own time. Looking forward to getting to know you better. If not, that's cool. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great rest of your day. See you in the next one.